Hold up, I'm still on game capture mode. Let's see if I do that. Huh. That's not good, is it? Hold up. Okay, camera's back, that's good. There's the box, which looks like it's out of place now. Yeah, that's not good. I swear I didn't move this, did I? I didn't move the camera. Let's see. Is that good? Is that aligned? I think so. Yeah, that's mostly aligned. Alright. Let's see. You're getting my browser tabs today because I don't have any guests on. And yeah, there's a reason for that. Hold up. Just going to resize this for you. Okie dokie. About there-ish. Yeah, maybe I should move the camera further up. Should I move the camera further upward? That's my first question to you guys. Beep, beep, boop, beep. Hi. Alright, yeah, it seems like I've missed a few messages from other people. So wait a minute, I've got from Mixels, Pixels, and Micropixels. So Quadzy was on both accounts. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at that. People have joined back. It's almost like people can tell as soon as I start. So they put the live screen on. It's like, oh yeah, nope, there he is. Yep, so yeah, here I am. Hi, hello, boop, beep, whatever. Hold up, I'm gonna probably move my computer a bit away so you don't get the fan too much. Tilt the mic away, because apparently that's what cardioid filters are for. Can I? Oh, I can't actually. A bit floppy. Oh well. That's where Gilead would make a joke, wouldn't he? Okay. Yeah, so sorry about this being such a late stream, but yeah, basically, reason for that is, well, because I hadn't had the Pixelmon video ready, and I had to have that at least come out with some sort of... Oh, Ghost Kitty's gone. Some sort of... You're retracting all your messages? What's going on here? No, I'm confused. I thought I was going to maybe want to make explanations, but no, we're But no, we're doing this. Okay, sorry. Okay, so yeah. Basically, yeah, so Pixelmon, I hadn't had that ready. There's been quite a lot that's gone on recently, and you know, I spent quite a lot of time doing other streams trying to diversify, well, this format basically, and also you know, keep up with all the usual things that I do. And then, of course, Pixel Month at the same time. So, yeah. A lot of stuff that's happened, and that I just did not register was going to finally, like, you know, going to finally break me down. Not necessarily to the point of, you know, the point of, oh no, I can't do this anymore, that kind of thing. But no, it's just that, you know, you add so much stress on top of it, on top of what you've already got going on in the background, and yeah, eventually that they're, you know, to use the old phrase, the straw breaking the camel's back, which, you know, considering I've been doing my English screenplay today, should not be the first sentence I come up with, because that's a cliche and you're supposed to not use those, but whatever. So yeah, basically basically I realized that that was that was a screenplay that I had to do for an idea that I was not really that inspired to do in the first place. As I looked into more about what actually gave me the original inspiration for that idea, it just there was a lot of criticism of that idea that can't like wore me down. I then ended up, for somewhat related reasons, going into some sort of I don't know, not identity crisis. That's not the right word. Mentality crisis, viewpoint crisis. Because I've just been thinking about a lot of things. I won't get too into it because, that's not what you're here for. I might explain that a little bit later on, or maybe I'll explain that to most of you lot talk to me on Discord, so I'll probably explain that to you in DMs if you're inclined, if you're curious. But yeah, basically, well, there's no basically about it. That's why I'm not saying it here, because it's too complex. So yeah, a lot that's been weighing down on me. Basically, I almost got behind on Pixel Month. I got another assignment, one of two, because I got the other one done, that is due in 4 days. And yeah, so I'm still supposed to be practicing for another thing as well. And yeah, at least I got the Mutant Girl done recently. So yeah, I don't really know, because I know that at some point it's going to get to the point where my mind is just shutting down. It's like it's like needs a break, but for several reasons I can't take a break, and I can't like allow myself to do that because I keep adding piles of traditions upon this kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know. After Pixel Month ends, I'll probably just do these Aftermath streams on Walking Wednesday and call it that for some time, and maybe work on a couple of gacha stuff in the background because Puppy Love is still one to be developed. I am. Quanti says, "Hey, I'm just saying, if you need to break or hiatus, just do it, okay?" All right, thanks. I will. I just need to decide how I want to go about doing that, because in the past I've either made an announcement or I've just not said anything, and yeah, that was before I started either these or Walking Wednesday to keep stuff going, and this is relatively low effort stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I might change the time of these maybe to make it so that I can do stuff more in the day and actually so you get it to relax at night or whatever. I don't know. Again, there's something I need to think about. Mental health and then universities should come first. Yeah, see, that's the thing about that. Because I actually had this discussion with my mum like a few months ago, talking about because parents always say what's most important to you, need to focus on whatever this is, what's your priority here, what is it that you want to do. And the thing is that to quote Freddie Mercury, I want it all, and that's precisely the problem, because on one hand, I want to try my own things and make sure that I'm practicing and vetting my own content, diversifying what I can do, honing my own skills independently. But at the same time, I also want to study certain things and get better at what I was already doing. So and they somewhat, you think that they go hand in hand, and in some cases they do, but it's just that when you live by the philosophy of seize every opportunity because that might be like your big break or something, just going into like voice acting or whatever, then it really you really start to think, well, if I decline this, then will I end up regretting it more than if I had said yes and just added something else to the pile, for example, or if I don't do this idea, if I don't, then if I am, will I regret that, basically? So yeah, you honestly have a week break from YouTube. That's me. It's so nice. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I was gonna say last time I remember doing I remember announcing like years and years ago that I was gonna do a week break or something like that to focus on revision because I had pending exams at the point, and I made like this whole video like on text, of course, because I didn't do like face cam discussions like this at that point, and I was like, oh yeah, I decided to leave YouTube for a whole week, and I thought that was such a big deal. And to be honest, this is the first point in my life, 2020, 2021, where leaving for that time would probably be as big a deal as it was back then, weirdly enough. I don't know. We'll see. I do want to at least do these streams at the very least, and Walking Wednesday. But I'll probably add the stipulation to that's the usual like experimental nature of my channel, trying to do some other things. I'll probably just leave those for the time being and then come back to them. I don't know. I already declined some ideas in my head and say, oh yeah, I'll do this later. I'll start talking about like Spanish dubs, which I've been gushing about for months now at this point to people, and I might just do that in a more structured format. But no, I don't know. I just realized what episode it was. Oh no, the Garmao shippers were always crazy about these kind of episodes. Oh yeah, don't worry, I've got my popcorn ready for this. That was going to be the description, but Streamlabs was being complicated, so I just I also didn't know if there was any popcorn left because the family have been munching on that while I wasn't around, which is fair enough. That more has been ordered, so don't worry. Garmao can get it. Yeah, okay. Again, context matters with this because, of course, at the time, it was a whole discussion between Garmao and Lamao. And actually, when I first watched this series, because I watched Phoenix Drop High first, I was invested into Aphmao's choice, not to the point of it dominating my views on the series, but it was something interesting to tie things over. I've never been usually one for love triangles, and I did have a big leaning towards Gareth because he was there first. But yeah, this episode is probably like the make or break point for a lot of people. The make for the Garmao shippers because, of what happens in it, but also the break for a lot of people because obviously in later years, both the characters and the people behind the scenes have talked about this one scene and how it probably wasn't the best. So yeah. Honestly, for this and for MCT, I definitely lean towards Gareth until Armao. Yeah, and also like I've even mentioned like Armao. That was even in the discussion because as soon as Armao came about, a lot of people united basically. And yeah, Squadsy, I will definitely. I'll take some sort of break. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. I don't know. Maybe I'll time it so if there's ever like a seasonal break or something between. I don't know if there's a seasonal break between Phoenix Drop High and Love of Paradise. I think just Adma just kind of went straight into it, which I also probably what led to me doing this now because I mean I look at somebody else as like, oh yeah, no, this person like works tirelessly every single day. There's like a standard that I feel like I should be doing, but not necessarily ever being able to actually do so. I don't know. Ghost Kitty says, I don't think I ever really shipped Garmao or Lamao. I was more into the story and all those mods they use. I never looked at the mods really. I did find the ships interesting, but I was never, too obsessed over it basically. I don't tend to pick a show and go, oh yeah, no, this ship is definitely the one that I want to see, and it's going to be ruined if it's not going to happen, and anyone who has a different opinion to me is completely wrong, blah blah blah. I don't know. The only thing that comes close is weirdly enough traveling from this same show for me, but I've never been one to really gush over that. I'm always in for good story and good character, which of course MyStreet delivers in stride. So yeah. At least take a week break and spend time with your family. Yeah, I will, like I said, I will try. I just have to decide the best way to go about that. Yuri XJ is my main OTP currently. What a surprise. Moena and Marmik is my main OTP. Oh dear. Can you imagine? All right, let's get going. Let's see this OTP at the very least.
usual. It's pronounced quesadilla, Ziana. That's what I said, Macarena.
Okay, what? Alright, hang on. So, it goes from quesadilla to Macarena. Isn't that like somebody like, talking about anime and saying that like anime does because they don't speak sushi? I've heard people say that, genuinely. That's not me making that up. But yeah. You know what, actually, points to her because for once Aphmau has written in a pop culture joke that actually makes sense for the timeline, because Macarena, the song, came out in 1996. So it would have been around when the series is set. Congratulations, Aphmau, you've actually learned from your mistake. And wait, who says that? I think I heard some YouTuber say that one time. I don't remember who it was. I think it was in a crossover. It wasn't even in their video. I don't know. I just heard the phrase. Oh, whoops. I minimized it by
Haven't
accident.
changed a bit in years. Never, girlfriend.
Whoa, whoa.
BFFs for life, yo.
Yeah. BFS for life, yo, but can you, like, maximize? There we go. I accidentally clicked a playlist now. It's gonna change. Hold on. I clicked a playlist. Oh wait, no, it's the same video, just in the playlist. Alright. We're gonna go into the... Apparently the next one on this playlist lineup is The Birth to Death of a Minecraft Bee by Aphmau as well. I don't know what mix this is. Like, let me just scroll over. Look at that. Why would YouTube generate a mix like this? I don't think it registers, like, the different types of content that Aphmau has made or time periods. I'm very confused.
Mom! Do you remember our moms being this embarrassing?
You don't remember each other, so why do you remember your own mums being around each other?
I think we were too young to remember.
Well, at least it isn't at school.
That would be a nightmare.
Oh, Blue's here. Hello. Hi, Blue. It's quite fitting that we start off on a bad Spanish joke when I've just watched your video on Catalunya. So, yeah.
Hey, maybe I could show you around the house. That way we don't have to sit here and listen to our mom's embarrassing conversations.
That sounds like a plan.
So, these are our stairs.
Wow! I've never seen stairs before. How do you have access to such technology?
Daddy got dough, what can I say? The Remave Corporation pays for stairs.
I didn't mean it like that. Anyway, over here is Zane's room. Hey, baby brother!
Ah, Gareth! Can't you...
This part in particular I'm going to mention because, well, A, please don't barge into people's rooms like this. That's an awful thing to do. But B, just going to look at this game here. I'm not sure what game this is. Someone can probably say, I don't know, it's insert name of game here. Something like that in all caps, I don't know. But basically that single shot there of Zane playing what looks to be an MMO was used in the theory, the first ever Aphmau theory that I think was released. I'm not going to pull a Comexary and say that's for certain, because clearly that can be very much mistaken. But at least the earliest dated video that I personally have seen that is an Aphmau theory was a 2016 video about who FC was. And one of the theories, and one of the things that was discussed in that, was that Zane could be FC because he was playing what looks to be like an MMO, much like Shu and FC played together. So that's why I mention it. I think the actual conclusion of the video was that FC was Aaron, so the possible first ever Aphmau theory ended up being correct, so good start before I came in and ruined it for everyone. But At least you've got that. XD Sasmao. Sasmao? Oh, Sasha, okay. Right, oh, is that what you mean, Ghost Kitty? Sasha and Afmal? No idea. And Quincy says, Daddy got Rose. Yes, Rose of Stairs.
See, I'm in the middle of something!
Are you playing that
Oh, Sassy Afmal. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
dumb game again?
Remember Sassy Lloyd Chronicles, anyone? That was an interesting series.
Know we have company over. Just pause it and come downstairs.
Get out, Gareth!
Yeah, you can't pause an MMO. Did you not hear what Afmal said in the first episode? Which you weren't there for?
I'm in the middle of a dungeon! I'll come down when I feel like—
Wait, that's a dungeon? Doesn't look very dungeon-y to me, does it? I mean, I don't know if there's a dungeon that's, clearly in the outside open air in the middle of the sunlight, but yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't strike me as a dungeon.
like it! Now shut the door and leave!
Sheesh. Sorry about Zane.
Hey, he just didn't break down the door, that's good enough.
He likes to isolate himself a lot.
It's
That looks like the ground level. Yeah, exactly, yeah, ground level. Dungeons usually are underground, so even then it doesn't make sense.
no problem. But he's right.
Oh, wait, you're saying Ghost Kitty said sassy because of the stairs. Right, okay. It's not really sassy necessarily, that was just her making a joke. But I get what you're saying.
You can't pause MMOs.
I wouldn't know. I'm not that into gaming like he is.
Really?
Not yet, anyway, but you will have a Zelda poster in your house in a few years' time.
Well, I am. But I only play console games every now and again.
Oh, I see.
And over here is Vlad's room. Hey, Vlad.
Gareth, brother, you really have this problem with doors and knocking.
Oh, that's not even half of his problem with doors in the future. You're just lucky that you live in this time period right now.
Don't you?
Oh, sorry, baby brother. I'll try to remember next time.
It's fine. I was just finishing some new meditation thing I saw. Hey, not alone, buddy. I'll be with you soon.
Yes, but imagine the headcanon of, Vlad teaching Caitlin how to meditate, and that's why she does it.
I want to finish this, or
Wait, they roomed together for a while. Imagine Vlad and Caitlin meditating together. That would have been a nice scene to see. And having Kawaii-chan just burst in and disturb them. That would have actually been funny. I don't know how it would tie into, Afmal, but that would have just been fine to see randomly. Why not? And yes, hashtag calm Vlad, I suppose.
I won't be at peace with my inner self.
Do you want me to become edgy? Like Zane. There's already one emo Remave. We do not need another.
Or something.
Wow, I didn't realize you were so deep, not alone, buddy.
We'll leave you alone, baby bro.
And Gareth, I swear if you don't fix this knocking problem, you'll probably be breaking down doors left and right when you're older.
Oh, they did make that joke. Okay. Alright then, wasn't just me.
That'll never happen. That's just plain rude. Good luck with your meditating. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to put you on the spot with those two.
It's okay.
Well, you barged into their door, into their room, so of course they're putting on the spot. I mean, maybe she's not on the spot with them, but they're on the spot with her.
This is the last room. It's mine. Want to come in?
Sure.
Ah, see, well, at least he invites her in there. That's a good step. Everything gets a hashtag. Yes, hashtags for all.
Wow. Your room is really nice, Gareth. You have a Legend of Zelda poster!
Oh, this was where the Zelda poster was in, not his new house. Okay, right. I recognized that from somewhere.
Yeah, it's my favorite video game series.
Wait, I thought you said you weren't into gaming as much.
Ah, but I did say I played console games.
At least now we know that she writes the scripts at the same time for these things.
I just don't have the time for them. I'm the captain of the baseball team, you know.
Huh? You are?
Yeah, you didn't know?
So let me get this straight. So Gareth and Lawrence are both the stud muffins of the school. They have legions of fangirls after them. Clearly leagues above the rest, and they're both captains of two of the most played sports in American high school, as far as my understanding goes. Yeah, I can see why they're the love triangle.
That's awesome!
Not to gloat, but I'm also the star player as well.
Wow, that is,
Oh wait, who more normal, Gareth or Vlad? Cause it ain't Zane here, emo boy. Ooh, that's a tough one. Cause I mean, I'm tempted to say Vlad, just like overall. Like in Phoenix Drop High, it's a bit difficult to say because Gareth, is very normal presenting most of the time, and a lot of his goofy persona came along later in life. Vlad, however, he fences, he meditates, and he has candles on his bed, which now I think about it is a huge fire hazard. Also, they're right next to his clothes. That was not very good planning on his part. So yeah, maybe they're all dumb. Who knows? My answer is Vlad to that question. Still, I think.
absolutely gloating right there, bud.
What? It can't be gloating if it's true.
Fine, I'll give you that. Wait, I remember playing t-ball with you when we were kids. Huh.
That's right. I remember. You were really bad at it if memory serves me correctly.
Well, it's not like I was going to be captain of a baseball team or anything back then.
Or even now, most likely.
No, you weren't. But you would get distracted by snails and lizards you found while at the bases.
I couldn't help it! Snails and lizards were cool! Still are!
I'm starting to see they're more similarities between Avmo and Emma as we go along, but there you go.
They are. Funny.
Oh, hang on. Gareth breaks down doors, Vlad is very calm, and Zane is emo. I think Vlad's more normal. Yeah. And Vlad's a world traveler. Yeah, well, world traveling's not that, uncommon. It's nowadays, but you know what I mean.
I remember you being a tomboy in a cute red dress.
Yes, a tomboy in a dress. That's a very good image to hold on. Like, I know stereotypes are stereotypes, but I'm just saying. The way that he phrased that, it's almost like the red dress comments the tomboyish look, which doesn't usually happen. Also, who plays sports in a dress? That's terrible planning.
Still am, kinda. I just developed these things called feelings. I wish I didn't have them.
Nah, you already had the feelings before. You were feeling for bugs around on the floor, like you said. That was even meant to rhyme, I'm sorry. No normal person breaks down doors. No, definitely not.
Feelings? For someone?
Well,
You may well ask, Gareth.
Gareth, this is gross.
Oh look, someone else barged into the room. Perfect.
Zane?
Ah, hey, baby brother. Why don't you just kiss her already? It's making me sick listening to you try to flirt.
And Gareth's like, okay, episode over. First kiss, done.
Flirt?
Calm down, baby brother. We're just having a conversation about the good old times. You mean the
Oh, his door was open, right, said nothing to knock. Fair enough.
times we don't remember that well? Oh yeah, those were good times.
Your existence is sadness and pain right now. Stuff you don't remember is good times.
Come on, Zane. You must have some good memories of Aphmau.
Probably not.
I don't. And honestly, I'd prefer it to stay that way. Zane, that's not nice.
I vaguely remember you being a big crybaby, Zane.
Well, that hasn't changed, has it? Also, Garth is a werewolf later, and that's not normal, while Zane a emo like ponies. They both ain't normal. Okay, yeah, I take your point. Yes, I forgot about the whole werewolf aspect of, factoring that in. But then again, werewolves are normal in this universe, so I guess by our standards that's weird, but maybe not so much by, the world of MyStreet. Wait, you're saying actually Zane's the most normal? I know, I'm still thinking Vlad. Because, remember, Zane flew around dressed as Santa on a magical pony stealing everyone's presents. So, let's just have that.
Hey!
Isn't Zane the youngest? Why would he remember her? Well, Zane and Aphmau are the same age, so if Aphmau remembers, then it stands to reason that he logically could as well. And also, I think Vlad is slightly younger than Zane. That's my understanding.
And then Garth would tease you, but Aphmau would come and push back Garth. Remember?
Garth the bully, wow.
Huh? What the? Where'd you come from, Vlad? Right across the room. Half-brothers exist too, Zane.
I'm not sure what he means by half-brother here. That's always really bad phrasing. Because again, since I'm adopted myself, I don't consider myself to be like someone's half-son. That doesn't make any sense. As far as I'm concerned, if you have an adopted family, that's your family. So, yeah, I always get annoyed when people use stepbrother and half-brother and all that kind of mumbo-jumbo when they're complicated so they doesn't need to be complicated. Vlad does rich people stuff, normal isn't rich. Well, by that logic, none of them would be normal anyway, because they're all on the same pedestal, basically, because they're all as rich as each other. So they would be equal there, then therefore the levels of normality would be determined from that point onwards. He's still half not adopted. In this... I mean, that's the thing, because it's still not very clear if Ziana actually had an affair in this reality or not. Because that never gets brought up. You'd think that it would get brought up in this reality in particular. In Diaries, you can kind of see, Middle Ages could possibly be scandalous at the time, but people would get over it. Especially after, Sue gets kidnapped and, her first scene in Diaries is her locked in a dungeon. That kind of thing. Not in a dungeon, in a cell. See, Zane's confused what I think of dungeons now. So, there's a little bit more are there, so I guess, but... You think that maybe someone would mention it, right? Or she'd have some sort of remorseful nature about that. I don't know. But no, apparently that's not brought up. So I'm not actually entirely sure if Vlad is supposed to be the half brother in this instance, the same way that he was in Diaries. It's really not clear. Zane and Vlad could easily be twins, and we wouldn't know.
Whatever. I don't remember ever teasing Zane. I remember being a good big brother. Nope. You were a sweet big brother now, but back then you teased Zane a lot and Aphmau stood up to you. Huh? I did?
Well, so much for all those bad memories of Aphmau then. Wait, doesn't Vlad have green eyes? Everyone has blue eyes? And that's the one with brown hair and is Vlad not a real Remave? What are you talking about? No, that's... Okay, so as a design point, Vlad is the reincarnation of his Diaries counterpart. If you follow my corporeal fragments theory, he's a corporeal fragment. That's... You weren't around when I devised that, so I understand that you're not aware of that. And to be honest, that's one of the videos that I've been putting off for a while, doing that corporeal fragments theory. So after I come back from whatever some sort of break I decide to go on, I will be sure to mention that and like discuss corporeal fragments. And but yeah, as for the color of someone's eyes, that doesn't determine if you're like related to them or not, because obviously like different eye colors have different alleles that are associated to them, whether they're dominant or recessive. I believe that blue's actually the most recessive form, so the fact that all the remains inherited the blue eyes in the first place is already rare enough. So the fact that there was someone carrying, you know, a green gene basically is not out of reason. Basically, it's like if one of them had brown eyes, whatever, I suppose. As for the hair color, kind of the same, but I'm not entirely sure like how that works as of yet, because there's like hair color and eye color defined by different things. I think it's mostly the same though. So yeah, it stands to reason that Vlad with no design shaders could still be a blood relative of the Remaves and a full relative of that, or he could be an adoptive one. Again, it's not really confirmed, but it's implied that he's adopted. And as far as things go, again, another thing I forgot to mention is, you know, when someone talks about your real family when you're adopted, like your real family is the family that raised you. That's as far as I'm concerned. Because what's more real than that?
Wow. Actually, it's kind of coming back to me.
Huh. I do remember that, actually. Aphmau was always looking out for Zane.
Yeah, even when during Christmas when no one else would. To be fair, quite consistent. I like Aphmau and Zane's friendship. I'm just saying it's implied that he's half. It's implied many things. That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. We don't know, because in this context, who even knows? Like, is it the same as before? Or not? Like, I have no idea. 5 years later, we don't know.
You were always eating dirt, Vlad. Hey! What can I say? I love nature.
So one of them found bugs, and the other one ate dirt. You know, I'm surprised those two weren't more friendly with each other.
And glue. And I still got into Okas's prep.
For a while.
Whatever.
Left.
I don't even care anymore. I'm going back to my room until dinner.
Oh, come on, baby brother. Don't be like that.
I'll be however I want to be. You go and try to flirt with that girl-woman thing. I'll be playing my online games because I obviously have more game with online babes than you ever will have with a real one.
Okay, that's an interesting statement. Zane actually trying to have game with babes. Never thought I would hear him say that, and I'd completely erase that from my memory. That's interesting. Right. And yeah, Ghost Kid, I agree with you. It'll be to know more about Vlaxworks guarding any info on him. That would clarify a lot of things, actually, but now seeing about that with Zane, I want to know what Zane's game with online babes was like, because my goodness, that would have been interesting. You reckon he had like there's like a customized skin or something that one of the gamer girls has, which is like a punk style or something like that, and that's what Zane was into? No idea.
Well, that
could also have been a hint towards him being FC, actually, now that I think about it, because but also that would have meant that that the game that the baby had game with or whatever would have been Aphmau as well, so I don't know. Interesting alternative script. Maybe if Aphmau got up on a different side of bed one time, then that's what might have happened. Who knows? Another what if series, because I haven't got enough of those already.
escalated quickly.
I'm sure Zane didn't mean any of that.
Puberty is hitting him hard. He's been on a roller coaster of emotions.
Puberty?
Ah yes, that thing. The mythical puberty. Do tell.
Either way, if Zane has online friends he's talking to, then I'm happy for him. I have to.
Yes, puberty. Oh wait, no, puberty is the thing that you win where you grow feelings, isn't it, Afmal? Such a weird phrasing. Imagine it. Yeah, in order to play sports, you have to have no feelings. There you go. That's the moral of this episode. Which, to be fair, considering that Caitlyn has no feelings at all when she's playing sports, kind of makes sense actually. I see that. Yeah.
To admit though, he's been taking out a lot of his anger on me recently. It's starting to get annoying.
I know the fact that God doesn't really like push back about it. It's like he just takes it in stride, and he does that for quite a long time. Actually, he's a very underrated older brother. Actually, in terms of the way that he acts, maybe like not when he was a kid and obviously teased Zane, but later on, because not his fault that he was such an achiever in school or whatever, and that he like outshined Zane. Because let's face it, Zane likes to stay in the shadows, so of course someone's going to outshine him. Duh. Oh. Maya says, Caitlyn has feelings, they're anger, determination, motivation. Point taken. Alright, he has those.
At least he acknowledges your existence. Aw, Vlad. Zane loves you. He's just going through a phase.
A very
I know.
permanent phase.
Still.
Kids, dinner is ready.
Looks like I made it home just in time then.
Dad!
Dad?
Oh. I'm not used to seeing voice actors have like their lines being synced up like that. That could have been interesting actually. Maybe if I do like a Minecraft roleplay in this style or something, then I'll start off small obviously and work my way up. But maybe that's something interesting. Maybe I should actually do something like that and send people like the actual video so they can match it up there. Because I mean, most of the time when you're doing voice acting for a TV show, then usually you get especially if it's a dub, you get shown the original and you have to like match it up. So yeah, it's interesting idea. Not sure. Here I go again, thinking about something else that I'm definitely gonna have to end up putting off. That's kind of what led me here, but whatever. Phrase or phase? Phase. That's I mean, he's not going through a phrase, is he? The phrase being, I don't know, the lyrics to My Chemical Romance song. I don't know what you mean by that, but yeah, no. Yeah, so it goes getting back into saying, Zane saying it's not a phase, God. Yeah, I was thinking that in my head. Is like, of course someone's going to say, if you ever hear like the phrase, it's just a phase, you want to say, this is just me. That kind of thing. It's, you're compelled to. That's what happens.
Look at you, Afmao. You've grown so much.
Hi, Mr. Romave.
Please, call me Garte. I bet you
Yes, Garte, not Garte, okay?
have all the boys chasing you at school.
A couple of them. Maybe a few. Namely, one of them was on the table.
No, do not give her any ideas. She is not boy crazy at all, and I'd like.
That's not the point, Sylvana. The point is that Garte is saying the boys might chase after her, not that she's chasing after them. Stop hearing everything negative about your own daughter and actually embrace who she is. Idiot.
Like it to stay that way.
Right! Stay away from those boys that aren't mine!
Right! Ziana's boys know better than to get all kissy lovey-dovey goo-goo eyes.
Tell that to Gareth.
What?
You only have one eye to be kissy lovey-dovey goo-goo with anyway, Zane.
Ziana, is there anything to drink? I'm thirsty.
Not as thirsty as Gareth is, apparently.
Zane.
I forgot the water. I'll be
I find it strange that this is actually getting to Gareth, really. Maybe he developed much more of a patience later. Vlad taught him meditation, that's what happened. Okay, so yeah, Maya says Vlad and Afmal look tiny compared to everyone else. I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's to symbolize that Vlad is indeed supposed to be younger than Zane in this version, not the same age. And he just moved up a grade or something. I don't even know. Oh, just as short in real life, I think. Yes, that's true. And yeah, Right, that's right. Oblivious parents is true. Yeah. At the same time, I would definitely say Sylvana's more odious than oblivious, but that's just me.
Right back. While I'm up, does anyone else want something to drink? I got this red drink that's totes the rage.
I don't, but I'll help you get the rest of the food out of the oven, girlfriend.
I bet Gareth would want a red drink in a small glass.
Zane.
I mean, what the heck? That's like a weird way of phrasing that anyway. Like, if he's supposed to imply that he's like thirsting for Aphmau, is that supposed to be like, oh yeah, no, she's wearing red and she's short, so she's the small glass? Is that what he's talking about? Because, okay, alright. Alright. Oh, and Ballora Plays is here. Is that a new account that somebody has made, or is this a new person entirely? I'm not sure. But either way, welcome. He did. They're about 10 months apart in age, Zane being older. Yeah, where are you getting that from? Because that was not explained in the episode. Like, I watched the full episode, they do not say that. Is it on the wiki? Because if it's on the wiki, then fair enough, but I do not know that. I speculated last time that Vlad would be at least 9 months younger than Zane in this reality, but then again, he wouldn't actually have to be if he were the half-brother / adoptee. That doesn't make, you know... Which, again, also ties into the mystery behind that. Okay. So it says on the wiki, fair enough. So, once again, giving Queens the idea that he might, in fact, be like, he could have possibly have been the full brother, but no, he said himself he's the half-brother, so they shot themselves in the foot in that regard. I don't even know anymore. Okay, Ballora, you said ye to that, but what are you saying ye to? That you're a new person, or that you're someone else's account? That's not... Alright, anyway.
Stop it.
Stop what, Gareth? I'm just trying to help you out with your game.
I know what you're doing, Zane, and it's getting annoying.
Hey, Dad? Maybe you should tell Gareth and Zane to stop fighting?
They're fighting? Well, Garth, Zane, stop! Ah, shoot. This is about the beach house. 1 second.
Well, it's just not about the lodge, imagine that.
I need to take this call upstairs. Hopefully, I can close this deal.
All I'm saying, Gareth, is that you have this horrible habit of flirting with
your
girls
account.
and
Okay,
then not...
welcome. Just checking, because I know people make alt accounts for this kind of stuff, especially for a while ago. Someone made a bunch of accounts pretending to be the characters from the Mutant Girls. So I'm just okay.
Following through. How do we know this isn't any different?
Zane, stop now!
Temper. Fine, I'll...
You're a fan of Aphmau. Okay, alright. No, well, good. That means my streams are showing up in recommended. That's good to know, because I know that happened with some people a while back, but I don't know if it was still occurring or not. I remember at one point I was watching an Aphmau video and my stream actually appeared right next to me, but then again I wasn't on incognito mode, so who even knows. Just one of those things, I guess.
Stop. But before I do, maybe you'd like some of these mashed potatoes. They're small and cute, just like you like them.
Zane!
Small and cute potatoes, yes. That is very true, yes. Gareth does like his small and cute potatoes. Oh, he didn't break the table. I'm impressed. Gareth don't get as angry as that kid from episode of MyStreet Season 1. Wait. Oh, yeah, no, from episode 3 when he goes into his Jury of 9 form. You're right, that he doesn't do that.
Not cool, Zane.
I'm going to go check on him. Gareth? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Are you sure? Zane was really getting under your skin, and...
Yes, but That's because he knows something I don't want you to know.
What's that?
But I'm about to tell you anyway. Therefore, letting you know. No, wait, I was saying like Mayface in the way he was in Jury of 9 form, and I think about it just then. Yeah, you're right. It was, yeah, because I mean, he used Aphmau in both of those situations, actually. So, yeah, actually, he used an image of Aphmau the first time, but you know what I mean. And yes, Bullora, we know this is the past before Season 6, don't worry. Like, over here, most of us are very versed in Aphmau content. Like, particularly with Phoenix Drop High, actually, but, you know, just in general, particularly MyStreet. Like MyStreet is still, to this day, my favorite show. It has been since almost around the time this was actually made, actually, so almost 5 years, but I kind of watched these episodes a little bit after they first came out, initially. So, yeah, it's something that we all hold near and dear, so don't worry, we know about the timelines and stuff. We're just discussing the intricacies and stuff we basically forgot about, or things we want to talk about and bring up, like, you know, the first ever MyStreet theory that I remember seeing. So, yeah, who knows. MC is better than MyStreet. I don't know necessarily. I prefer MyStreet for several reasons. Like, MCD, obviously, like, production-wise feels a bit more primitive, but I don't mind that necessarily too much. It's also a lot more complex, which hurts its advantage sometimes, but I do like it when stories keep to some simple ideas and keep themselves like I keep it so that you can actually follow along a lot easier. Not that I can't follow along with Minecraft Diaries, clearly, because I mentioned, you know, Ziana in a cage before, but, you know, so I do remember stuff. It's just that, and obviously watching MyStreet back is much less of, let's face it, much less of a chore than it would be to sit through Minecraft Diaries over and over again. So all those aspects play into it. And also, I do like things that are somewhat lighthearted at first. Like, I like Season 6 of MyStreet, because that's not lighthearted really at all, really, but it's still like ups the ante, you know, doesn't overstay its welcome, and keeps things just as simple as they need to be, and as complex as they need to be at the same time. I like the balance that MyStreet strikes, because MyStreet, was built on the idea of balance anyway, between all the different shows that I was doing at the time, and there's reality, and then fleshing things out afterwards and planning things much more ahead. And of course, the balance between the budget that they had and the voice actors in question and what they'd been doing before, tradition and modernity. So yeah, I prefer MyStreet, definitely. And you say, now I feel like it's more of a chore to watch MyStreet, right? It's like, no, I guess, longer than MCD. I've watched MCD probably like 3 or 4 times, while MyStreet is like 1 and multiple for certain episodes. Well, I mean, I'm definitely the opposite then. Well, I and Aphmau haven't met yet, and the final season of Season 6, I said you remember Shu, aka Aphmau. What do you mean they haven't met yet? They've met. They're in class together. Like, not only do they know, not only have FC and Shu been friends for years at this point, but they've also met in werewolf class multiple times. So, yeah, I don't follow what you're trying to say there. Alright, and what about the superhero SMP? I haven't really watched that one yet, actually. I watched part of episode 1. I only realized recently there was actually a thing in the first place, so I kind of missed out on that one. So I do have to check that one out, but I'm not going to make a point of comparing it to MCD and MyStreet because, yeah, I don't think I really would be able to be honest. I'm warning you guys, don't do it, Genius Nip. Like that one person watching a play they've seen multiple times, like heckling the actors, just to see if they change the script or not, they completely ignore you. I honestly with the fight with Michael. Again, we know. Don't worry. We have watched the seasons. Usually there are sometimes people here that haven't seen everything, but, you know, I wrote a song about Michael. I know what happens.
I like you.
Gareth, I like you too.
No, not like that.
When someone says I like you, it's understood they mean in that way. You know, they're not just going to say, oh yeah, by the way, you're a nice person. I know we've been friends for quite some time, but, you know, I generally enjoy your company, which is why I'm friends with you in the first place. It's no one says that. If they say that they like you, it's usually like that. Especially when someone's been flirting with you, as Zane has just pointed out. Athmel's dumb. Hold up, isn't this like really dumb because he's leaving next year? Actually, no, he doesn't leave next year. He stays. He's not a senior yet, so no, it's not dumb at all. In fact, if anything, if you want to like talk about like a dumb age difference, talk about the fact that Aaron was either 17 or 18 by the time that, you know, he was starting to get things for 14-year-old Athmal. Yeah, just let that one sink in.
I mean, I like you.
Huh?
Oh, there it is.
I'm so sorry. I had no idea what came over me.
That was my first kiss.
I'm so sorry.
And then Garth never lived it down for the rest of his life.
I didn't mean to.
It's okay. It's just, I like you too, Garth. But
I know we don't know each other very well. I felt this way when you left the park. I remember when you ran into me on the first day of school and instantly feeling a connection.
Wow. Just wow. It was that early on for you, was it, Garth? Running into you on the first day of school, just like catching somebody, that was it. You know, I'm starting to see now why a lot of gacha trends, like tropes particularly, started from Athmal content. Yeah, I can see it now.
I couldn't describe it. And then I found out that you were the girl from my childhood. I couldn't get you out of my head.
I've been thinking
Didn't he just find out today? Like, that, like, come on.
a lot about you too.
Really?
Yes. But
Yeah, I drooled over you to Travis there's only a few hours ago.
I still want to get to know you more.
I'm glad. I'm sorry about stealing your first kiss from you. Can you not tell Lawrence about that?
Huh? Lawrence? Why not?
You're a fool, Athmal Shalashaska. Good grief. Dumb. Alright. To be fair, if I were in her place, I would probably not realize it was happening to me either, but still. Dumb.
He really likes you.
At least Gene changes in MyStreet. That's true, he does. I wasn't convinced at first. Like, when he showed up in Season 2, I was like, is there something gonna go on here? Is he just there, and he's not like... I mean, I'd always seen Ivy pull a redemption arc, but not really Gene. I thought Gene was gonna have some sort of, like, secret plan to himself, but no, apparently not. It's probably because Gene was a lot more, like, deceptive than Ivy was. Ivy was sort of like the cartoonish bully. Gene was the more methodical one. He kind of knew what he was... But, you know, kind of knew that his plan, you know... He kind of had a plan. He was always, like, able to manipulate adults and look like he was, like, sort of an innocent person. Except for, obviously, teachers, because he doesn't care about them. You know, when it mattered, basically, he was able to pull the strings. Kind of like with Ian, actually. You know, the way that he helped him out. There you go, actually.
You too.
He does?
Yes. Wait, I wasn't supposed to tell you that either. Good job, Garth. You're just on a roll tonight.
See? There you go. They deserved each other. They're both idiots.
It's fine. Wow. Zane really got under your skin. I won't tell Lawrence anything. We'll just forget this happened and be friends until further notice.
Even Zane still hates Gene. Not really. I mean, they kind of sort of made up. I think Zane just, you know, doesn't really enjoy Gene as a person, to be honest, but I don't think he hates him nowadays, like post Season 3, I mean.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, I'm hungry.
Same. We should go in and eat.
Right.
Well, little freshman, looks like I have everything I need to play you.
Alright, I'm going to stop there before it plays The Birth to Death of a Minecraft Bee by accident. Probably best I don't let that go on. Alright. So, that was the Kiss episode. Once again, a part 3 to a 3-parter arc in the same style that Aphmau sometimes does, or did really, obviously, not anymore. So yeah, considering though I said before about the middle parts always being the weakest out of all the 3-parters, I still stick to that, yes. Perhaps if Aphmau did more 2-parters of things, that would kind of work a lot better. In fact, actually, now I think about it, my favorite ever video that she's done is the What You Know About Me Part 2 from Phoenix Drop High Season 2. So actually, when she does a 2-parter like that, it actually works surprisingly well. So yeah, maybe that's something that she should have considered, actually. Me cutting up the middle part with Travis, because we didn't really need that, to be honest. Do you mind talking about episode 5, part 1 of your series? Sure, I guess, if people want to stay around for a bit longer, I suppose I can do that. I thought it was episode 4. I've actually already watched it, but I will watch it again, because you know that's what we do now. Basically, every single stream we've watched one of these. So yeah, all right. And actually, already I can say I enjoyed it much more than some of the other episodes that you've done, like any of the other ones. I feel like already, because of what we're about to see, the changes are much better. Also, good establishing shot.
Have you found anything yet? Unfortunately, no. No one has anything about bringing back the dead.
Okay, yeah. So I've already heard the script, obviously, because you showed us what it was and we kind of like read through it. So not really too surprising. I'm surprised that you made this like only one scene, basically. Like, this is a scene more than an episode parter, to me at least. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. Like, already you can see it's way better just without having the gacha, the gacha like studio mode versions, like the behind the scenes tabs there. Like, just removing those alone, like I suggested, has already made the world of difference. So yeah. And yes, I can hear the script reading. I mean, I can tell, I can tell that you're like reading from the script like at the same time as recording this, because that's obviously like that's your method. So I kind of knew about that already.
How are you even sure she's still around? If she were, won't she have made contact with you?
And that's another thing as well. The fact that you do everything in one take. If you misread the script, or you have to stumble on a word that you might not be confident pronouncing, or you have to take a breath, then you can't really follow it along. You can't. It feels like you're reading from a script, which is obviously what you're doing. With voice acting, even though that's what people are doing, they're reading from a script because you don't have to memorize lines if you've got them right in front of you and you don't see your face. That's fair enough, but it's got to feel like acting. That's the thing. I mean, weirdly enough, I've got a video of the Game Grumps right next to this one in my recommended, like right here. So I remember something that Aaron said, Aaron Hansen, because I mean he obviously is quite a prominent voice actor and very talented at that. So yeah, one thing that he said is that the emphasis in voice acting is of course on the acting. So he says, yeah, voice acting is the part that people don't seem to judge, basically. So yeah, I can kind of let's see that. And yes, like you say there, in between scenes, I keep going ahem, ahem. Well, yeah, but also when you breathe, that too. That's one thing that people don't really talk about is in voice acting. You're not really supposed to breathe in between lines. There's like a breath involved, basically. I feel like I neglect to do that a bunch of times. I try and edit it out wherever I can, whenever I remember to. But yeah, obviously, like there, I had to take a breath in the middle of saying something because I'm making this continuous and small stream of conscience. So yeah, there's that too. So yeah, something reading from a script, breathing between lines that you haven't given yourself enough space to really change from, and that's it really. That's as far as I'm concerned, that's already a huge improvement from last time. So already I can see that you're making the right steps forward. I have other recommendations, obviously, but baby steps essentially.
Just because she hasn't made contact yet doesn't mean she isn't out there. So this is your place. I gotta admit.
I've got a question actually. How come Shino knows that Yuri's a ghost? Is he just like convinced because he has like a huge profound belief in her, and he feels like his sister's got to be out there, or does he know that Yuri came back as a ghost? Because the only person that Yuri's been able to interact with so far has been Jake, probably because of the skull mask, not really sure. So what has Shino really got to go on? The fact that he's had some sort of experience with this before, that he's seen other case studies. What is it? I don't know. Apparently Aiden commented on the video. Well, let's see what Aiden commented on the video then. Oh, he commented hi. Wow. I mean, Aiden is a man of few words in comments, honestly. He's commented uwu at least a dozen times on my videos.
It's pretty nice. Yeah, just don't touch anything. We're only here to research. Okay, I won't touch anything, Mr. Grumpy Pants.
Not that you could anyway, because you're intangible. What kind of insistence was that? Like, she's a ghost. What is it that you can touch? Like, how's that work?
I'm not a grumpy pan. Sure you're not.
I do like the fact that you changed her position in between those times. Like, a lot of time you've done like Yuri flying forward, and fair enough, I'm glad that you cut those parts out because they didn't work the way you thought they did. But yeah, also I just like they're not like constantly static and just like not moving. Like you change the body poses. That's something that a lot of people in voice acting content like don't really do in gacha because they tend to focus on like the mouths and obviously the people's voices and their performances and whatever. Yeah, fair enough. So but I always say that the way that I tend to portray character, especially in the Mutant Girl, because I'm not one for big facial expressions, as Quasi can attest to, I usually modify their body poses. I tend to try and make them change position, sometimes between like mid-line. Because I mean, when I review Fallen Angels, I saw the same thing, because Aiden, for a lot of the time, he would, whenever a character was speaking, regardless if they change emotion in the middle of the sentence, or there's like a pause or anything, he would keep all the one-liner dialogue on this one image, and then change it as soon as the next character starts speaking, and that was it. That's not really enough, usually. So I'm glad that you've actually taken the time to change the positions in between them. Like, not necessarily mid-line. Again, that will probably come later. But, again, there's a theme with this video, but you're making the steps in the right direction.
Felix, quit messing with those test tubes and help me research this topic. I need to work on my other project. My job is a scientist for the mutation project.
Yeah, this is another thing that would confuse me, because you had Mrs. Dysart with grey hair because you wanted to be sort of set after the Mutant Girl, so to speak, and yet you have Felix doing his exact same objective from Season 2, so I'm confused about that as well. Oh, and, okay, so Shino, I'm saying that he doesn't want to let her go, he feels the guilty for her death. Okay, fair enough. Alright, so it's more of like a passion thing for him. Alright. And, next sentence was gotcha logic. Yay, gotcha logic, the fact that she can touch stuff. Hooray, that's just what we'd want to hear. Okay. but it will be visible to anyone who can't see it. Okay, so it's like the floating object sort of idea. Which, by the way, is something you can actually do in Gacha Club quite easily. So if you ever do want to do that, like have Yuri draw someone's attention, then that's actually quite a good way of going about that.
Not a go-go project. That doesn't mean you can't help me on my project. Fine, I'll help you. But then I'm going back to my project.
Oh yeah. So when I looked at the script of this is mostly for anyone else who's still watching, but like the other one person that's not Ghost Kitty. When I looked at the script, I made a joke about the fact that the word project was said a bunch of times. So usually when you're writing like any form of creative fiction or creative non-fiction even, actually, you don't tend to like use the same words a lot of the times, but except for like, you know, obvious examples like the, a, I, you know, those ones. Yeah, if at possible, try and like take some of those out. Like for example, like Felix could just say, "Oh yeah, no, I'll help you on your project, but I've got to focus on mine," instead of saying your project, I'm focused on my project, that kind of thing. Like it's understood. And then he just says, "That's fair enough. That's all you need." Like minimal dialogue where possible. I mean, obviously, if you want to like have some sort of like huge, like flowery, embellished line like I do sometimes, and make it quite a poignant thing to say, then fair enough. But usually those ones don't have repeated lines either. So, you know, all in all, yeah. He still likes to research the mutation project, so he just does that in his spare time, still researching the same thing he did in his 20s. Fair enough, I guess. All right. There you go. Sorry for the cliffhanger. By the cliffhanger is one word, just saying. I was still working on the script. Yeah, okay. Again, it feels more. Then this is a scene.
And ask for something.
He's enjoyed the first part, the first ever 2-parter or 3-parter episodes. Yeah, I wouldn't do too many of these necessarily, but we'll see. Maybe if you wanted to do like a full season recap after it finishes, like I did with the Mutant Girl, then that might be more interesting. Also, I can kind of see where you evolved from, because again, once you start seeing the evolution, it's pretty clear how far you've come. Actually, again, I just said the far you've come twice, and it makes it far worse, proving my point from before. Me. And then, of course, your outro. All right, so there's that. I will leave things here. I can feel my eyes just closing around. I'm not usually tired at this time, but like I said, it's been quite the day for me, and it's not necessarily over yet because there's a lot of things I need to think about. So yeah, I'm just going to probably retire back to what I was doing before, but also eat some more food, because food is good. I like food. I'm gonna have some food. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do in terms of a break, but again, I will say that later. And obviously these streams, because they're like on a time schedule anyway, probably will not be affected, because these streams honestly do make me smile. They distract me from what's going on for just the briefest points, and then I can get back to what I'm working on. This is why I probably might change the time, but not necessarily the place. As for next stream, by the way, is on the same day as the next submission that I've got due, actually, so that's on the 23rd. So by that point, maybe I'll just be like completely shattered, but we'll try. See what Gene's scheme has cooked up. So yes, leave a like, or just like, because your opinion matters. And remember, keep calm and carry on, be pause, maybe help us stray. Yeah, do you just combine both our outros? That's amazing. Alright, but also, subscribe if you've not done so already. And on that note, until next time, farewell. And I'll be back.